it was requested that I show you how to make the biohazard symbol. So I'm going to take you through the process that I used to make this biohazard symbol. A lot of it will be showing you the templates that I made or the shapes that I made so that I could use techniques like the Pathfinder tool in order to subtract and add to different shapes and build that biohazard symbol. Let's take a look at the layers. I'll make this one disappear and I'll show the template. You can see that that one is very pixelated. It'd be really hard to just trace it and make everything symmetrical. This one has radial symmetry, so it has different parts that radiate out on different kind of thirds lines within that circle. And it's mostly based on circles. So here is what I did to create this shape. I think I'm going to turn off that template and I'm going to turn this on. So this is a collection of a bunch of circles that I built as I started putting this whole shape together. And you can see that very first I created a couple of lines that are connected at the very center of this shape and they're radiated on thirds. This is so that I could get all of my circles lined up in the correct spacing so that they're spaced out sort of on thirds. I took these kind of blue circles and I put them so that their center points were at the very ends of this guide that I created. I also made this magenta ring which corresponds to that ring within this shape, and I made sure that I believe the center points of these yellow circles are at the place where this inner part of this ring intersects with those thirds lines. So everything intersects or starts at a really specific place. There's this circle that's in the very center. It's easy, not going to say it's easy, but it is definitely possible once you get all this stuff lined up to start building this project. One thing that you could do is take all of these and use a tool like your Pathfinder. I'm going to hit Shift so I can select them at the same time and unite those together, and then go take all three of these circles and subtract those from that shape. Let's do that by selecting these ones. And I think I can go to minus front, but it might not work. Oh yeah, it did pretty well. And so I have a really good start on this. All I would have to do now is take this circle and this circle and find out where those interfere. They actually need to have some space. So this center circle is a negative space. If you look at this circle, it has some space in between kind of the shape that's currently yellow and this ring. So one way to make that interference happen is to give a stroke. Let's make it a blue stroke. To give a stroke to this shape, I'll make sure that it is a stroke on the outside of there. Yeah, I'll go to Object and Path and Outline Stroke, and that's its own shape now. I could go make sure that I have just this magenta ring and this outline, which is now its own shape. They're going to want to be in the same layer exactly. I'll make sure I have that and that one selected. Now I can do this thing, minus front. And I've just taken that much information away from the magenta circle. I probably don't need these parts anymore, although you won't be able to see them. So you're almost there. All you'd have to do is do a very similar trick that I just did with these lines to make these spaces, and also with this yellow circle in the very center to make that negative space. And bada bing, you've got something like that. That easy. Was it easy?
I wouldn't call it easy.
but it's definitely doable. Pretty good? I can attest because I did it once myself. Hey, thanks for listening.